Amanda Anisimova shocks Coco Gauff. Epic 6-1. 6-2 China Open semifinal upset. The Beijing night glowed electric. The stadium was packed, a living sea of anticipation. Every seat filled with fans eager to witness the rise of a queen. Coco Gauff, the fearless prodigy, the reigning American sensation. But across the net stood someone who had once been the future too, Amanda Anisimova, the quiet storm returning from the dark edges of her own story. Tonight, the world expected Coco to march to another final. But Amanda had other plans. The return of a forgotten fire. For years, Amanda Anisimova had been a ghost haunting her own potential. She had burst onto the scene as a teenager, powerful, graceful, unafraid. At 17, she had stunned the world at the French Open, toppling champions with serenity that belied her youth. But then came the silence, the grief, the pressure, the doubts that hollowed her out from the inside. Tennis, once her escape, became her burden. She withdrew from tournaments. She disappeared from headlines. And when she returned, the world had moved on, its eyes fixed on the new star, Coco Gauff. But what no one saw were the long nights of rebuilding, the slow process of falling back in love with the game, the quiet courts, the early mornings, the heavy breathing in empty gyms, the way she looked at her racket and decided she wasn't done. Beijing was supposed to be another stop on that journey, a test, not a triumph. Yet, as she walked into the semifinal, her heart was steady, her eyes sharp. Something inside her whispered, "This is the night." The arena of expectation. The China Open semifinals were a spectacle of pressure. Cameras, lights, banners. The entire world tuned in to watch Coco Gauff continue her ascent. The crowd roared her name even during warm-ups. Amanda, meanwhile, warmed up quietly, methodical, unreadable. She had played herself into form all week, dismantling opponents with quiet precision. Yet no one truly believed she could stop Coco. But Amanda didn't need belief. She only needed rhythm. The air was thick with noise when they took their places. At the baseline, the first ball was tossed. The first serve hit, and the battle began. First set, shock and awe. Coco Gauff served first. Her first point, a blistering ace down the middle, drew a wave of cheers. It looked like the script was being followed. But then came Amanda. Her returns were brutal, flat, deep, surgical. Every shot cut the court open. Her timing was unreal. Her footwork light, but lethal. Within minutes, the crowd's cheers shifted into uneasy murmurs. Gauff, usually so composed, looked rattled. Amanda broke serve, then held, then broke again. The scoreboard blinked like a revelation. Anisimova leads 4-0. The commentators were stunned. "She's hitting the ball like it owes her something," one whispered. Indeed, Amanda's shots carried a different kind of energy. Not anger, but release. Every forehand screamed years of bottled frustration. Every backhand was redemption written in motion. Coco tried to fight back, launching her powerful ground strokes, but Amanda anticipated everything. Reading the angles, taking time away, striking the ball early. At 5-1, Amanda stepped to the line. She took a deep breath, tossed the ball high, and unleashed an ace down the tee. Set Anisimova. 6-1. The crowd gasped. The impossible had just happened, and it was only the beginning. Between the storms. During the changeover, Amanda sat calm, towel draped over her shoulders. No celebration, no smile, just that focused stillness, the look of someone who knew the job wasn't done. Coco's side of the court told a different story. She looked bewildered, shaking her head, muttering to her box. She had been outplayed, outpaced, outthought, but the match wasn't over. Coco Gauff doesn't surrender. She was born for fightbacks. Amanda knew that. She'd watched Coco rise in her absence. The speed, the charisma, the crowd's love. She knew that to win tonight, she'd have to silence not just her opponent, but the noise of an entire stadium, the ghost of pressure. There are matches that test your technique, and then there are matches that test your soul. As the second set began, Coco raised her level. She pushed deeper, served harder, ran faster. She yelled after every point, trying to summon her fire. But Amanda matched her and then surpassed her. She floated around the court like she owned it, her racket an extension of her heartbeat, her backhand cross-court, crisp, her forehand down the line, a dagger. Coco's shots that usually forced errors came back even harder. Amanda was reading her game like a book she had written herself. By 3-1, the momentum was undeniable. By 4-1, the crowd grew restless. They wanted a fight. They were witnessing domination. Anisimova didn't celebrate. She was too deep in the zone, that rare sacred space athletes enter when body and mind fuse into one unstoppable rhythm. Every serve, every strike felt predestined. It was beautiful. It was terrifying. The battle within. What Amanda was doing on the outside, dominating one of the world's best, was only half the story. Inside, she was at war with herself. Every point, a flash of memory. Her lowest moments, her time away from tennis, the self-doubt that had nearly destroyed her love for the sport. She could still remember those quiet mornings when she'd woken up wondering if she'd ever play again, if the world even remembered her name. But now, here she was, center stage, Beijing roaring in disbelief, the world watching her reclaim what she had lost. She smiled between points, a small, secret smile, the kind that only comes from realizing you survived the storm. The final push. At 5-2, Amanda stepped the line again. She could feel her heart pounding, the crowd buzzing, the finish line within reach. Across the net, Gauff stood defiant, still fighting. That's what champions do. But Amanda was ready to end it. First serve, ace, 15-0. Second serve, long rally, forehand winner, 30-0. Coco dug deep, producing one of her signature running forehands, but Amanda answered with a backhand that painted the line. 40-0, 3 match points. The crowd hushed. Amanda bounced the ball 3 times, looked up, tossed it high. The serve curved wide. Coco reached. The return floated long. It was over. 6-1, 6-2. Amanda Anisimova had done it. She had defeated Coco Gauff in one of the most stunning upsets of the year. The moment after, for a few seconds, Amanda simply stood there, motionless. Then her shoulders trembled, and she let out a long, trembling breath. Her eyes lifted to the sky. She didn't scream. She didn't drop to her knees. She just smiled, a soft, emotional smile that told 1,000 stories. The applause rolled through the stadium like thunder. Even the Gauff fans joined in. They had witnessed something special. Coco walked to the net, offered her hand, and smiled graciously. "Well played," she said softly. Amanda nodded. "Thank you." The final scene. Beijing slept, its lights fading into the horizon. The court was empty now, the echoes of applause long gone. But in the silence, the story lingered, the story of a girl who once disappeared and then reemerged stronger than ever. Somewhere in that vast, glowing city, Amanda Anisimova dreamed of tomorrow. Not of trophies, not of rankings, but of moments like this one, pure, alive, and beautifully human. Because in the end, this wasn't just an upset. It was a rebirth. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.